Hello and welcome to another episode of Calm and Chaos Live with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this mediocre Monday afternoon. I hope you all had a great weekend and a great start into the new week. As always, in Calm and Chaos Live, I'll take the time to answer all the questions you might have. And additionally, if you don't share any questions in the chat, we're going to take a look at the comments on my videos, because those usually also contain the frequently asked questions. That said, before we do any of that, however, let's first get the usual disclaimer out of the way. Everything that I share in this live stream / video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. And with that, I'm gonna press the magic button to share my screen. Oh yeah, I caught the right moment for the cutting off. Yeah, Gabby is also here. Hi, Gabby. She is responsible for moderating the chat, sharing any links that might be relevant if I'm not faster, and yeah, just making sure everything goes orderly and reminding me to keep things concise. So far, so good. So as I said, I hope you all had a great weekend. Personally, we actually had a productive weekend. As you might have noticed, the streaming background changed. It's now empty, although that's not how it's supposed to stay. We're going to eventually get to decorate it. So we're already making improvements in the office. And I'm happy to report we're almost done with the recording setup. So a little bit more and back to recording we go. Yeah, that said, so as far as questions go, you already guessed it, based on this one, I lost 3,000 Pi to a scammer 2 days ago. We probably will address a few of those comments in one go that are very similar. Here we have, I lost my passphrase. How can I get access to my wallet or recover my coins back? That one is separate. I'm not going to mark it as accept right now, so we still see it. How do I know if I've migrated coin? Okay, we're going to address the first two. So obviously, yeah, High Scout Report will address your questions in a second, yeah, and we'll start with that. So obviously, with the high number of users that Pi Network had and the increasing popularity in quotes, there are also more and more scammers out there. That basically prey on either your desperation, your greed, whatever it is. So basically on your willingness to ignore the rules of the enclosed mainnet that's still in place. Because during the enclosed mainnet, it's obviously a violation of the rules if you try to exchange or sell Pi coins for other fiat or cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so far so good. Now there are obviously people out there that will tell you, hey, I'll buy Pi coins for whatever, $10 per Pi, $50 per Pi. It doesn't really matter what they're offering, because they don't really have or the intention to buy your Pi coins. They just want you to either get your passphrase so they can clean out your whole wallet, or they want you to send you some amount of Pi in advance, and then they block you and you get nothing in return. Yeah, so play by the rules. The open mainnet is not that far away. Just last week we crossed the last remaining requirement, 10 million migrated pioneers. So play by the rules and you don't risk getting spammed or scammed, not spammed. Yeah. Now, as far as the passphrase issue goes, obviously, so we covered it last week. If you have a seed list, so a list of words with 2048 words, and your passphrase is 24 words long, that means that there are more possible combinations for your passphrase than there are atoms known in the known, or atoms in existence in the known universe. Yeah, if you only forgot or yeah, I don't know, like if you only forgot or had a typo or something in 2 out of 24 words, there are already more than 4 million possible combinations for those remaining 2 words. So while that could still be guessed eventually by a computer, by a script running, you probably will not ever manage to go through those more than 4 million combinations manually to figure out which 2 words you're missing. It's very important. The most important thing in crypto is to keep your passphrase secure. I know there are some people that ask for example, why don't they add 2-factor authentication or some nonsense like that? The fact of the matter is, there's nothing more secure than your passphrase. And unless you share it in some way or you store it in an unsecure way, so for example, let's repeat what we always do. If you write it down, word 1, word 2, word 3, and so on, and you save it as a regular text document or note, or you take a screenshot of the passphrase and have it in your Photos app, that is not secure, and you're just begging to have your wallet cleaned out. to provide some proof for that. So iOS apps scan photos for passphrase. So there was just a case of, nope, have to search differently. Free apps identified. Okay, I cannot find it. We shared it last week, but there basically, even for Apple, there were free apps that got detected and removed now that asked for access to your photos for whatever reason, and then would scan all your photos to potentially find passphrases, which means then they can clean out your wallet. Yeah. So store your passphrase securely. Check out last week's episodes. I think the one from Friday goes into the most detail about the topic, how you can do so. Yeah. And if you don't give away your passphrase, your coins are safe. There's no way, there's not a single way for anyone to transfer coins out of your wallet without knowing your passphrase. Yeah. So even if you really, really didn't share it actively, you got it compromised in some other way. Yeah. Scout Report asked, I would like to ask you about the lockup 200%, how it works. I'll honestly have to look that one up. 1 second. I knew it, but before I tell you something wrong, yeah, we're just gonna take a moment to look it up. Let's just need a moment to prepare something, and then we're good to go. Let's press that button. Was it the right button? Yes, was the right button. Okay, so, and then let's press that button and go here, and not here. Pi. So there was the 200% configure lockup rate. Transferable lockup duration will be no. Yeah. Maximum of 100% after. Okay, so there we have it. At the time, you can lock up as much as 200% of their already transferred mainnet balance acquired from their previous mining. The additional lockup allowance for more Pi than individual mined Pi can come from utility-based Pi app transactions. So that basically more or less means locking up future incoming Pi. So as it's mentioned, when you click on read more, and then in this paragraph here, so right before the lockup economic model, basically it means if you get 100 Pi transferred, then the 100 Pi are locked up. And if you then, for example, I don't know, sell me some item and I pay you with Pi, then up to 100 Pi would get locked up again. So how do I, yeah, let's try to visualize this, but then I have to actually share my regular screen again. So let's say you have 100 Pi and those 100 Pi get migrated, then they are locked up. Yeah, and now you get 100 Pi transferred, transferred in from some other user for example, selling something in exchange for Pi. Selling something in exchange for Pi. Yeah. Now, in that case, with the 200% lockup, those entire 100 Pi would get locked up as well. Yeah. So now let's say you get 100 Pi migrated, but you also get an extra 1,000 Pi because you're selling, I don't know, some item that just brings you more Pi. In that case, so based on the official explanation, 100 Pi of those 1,000 would get locked up again, would get locked up as well, actually. And 900 would be available. So you just say, I'm committing to locking up twice as much as I actually have. I don't know how it works if you don't get any incoming Pi. That would actually be a tricky question. So you say you lock up 200%, but then you don't have any Pi incoming. How does the mining bonus work then? So will it still be applied fully, or would it only apply once you actually get extra coins into the wallet? I also think that the 200% lockup is a little bit obsolete now, because if you, because there's now the on-chain lockup as well. So if we switch back to, I moved the Stream Deck and I'm confused which hand to use, But if we, where did we have it? I closed it. No, there it's still open, Pi browser, yeah. So if you check your wallet in the Pi browser, then you now have the lockup section. I mean, not now, but already for a while. And you can basically create new lockups here. So the 200% factor is actually now irrelevant, because if you pick 100% and then you get some Pi from selling something, you could just create a manual lockup and lock up that amount or whatever amount you want of that amount as well again. So yeah, so I feel like that's something that probably should be updated in the user interface. Back then didn't make much sense because it was confusing. See, even I had to look it up again because it's just something that yeah, like is not that straightforward. And yeah, but that's that. So circling again, I always want to use I have to move that again. It's like so inconvenient with the on the right side. Anyway, so India says can't wait for Pi Network to get its value, but to be fair, Pi Network already has a value. So the value is whatever you and somebody else agree on when you make a transaction. So if you have a spare phone that you don't need anymore and you want to sell it, you can post it, for example, on reddit.com/r/localpi. Yeah, so there, local Pi, I'm gonna share it, 1 second, local Pi community. And you can share it there. So like there's somebody selling some Lego, there's somebody trying to sell a PlayStation, although as I pointed out, the price that he's asking is like only 50 Pi less than what you get, what you have to pay in Pi for a new one with warranty. There you can buy copper rounds, yeah, Pokemon stuff, so there is already a value. In this case, it depends on what you agree. Like this guy basically is valuing Pi around 25, 26 cents, yeah, or 24, 25 cents. Other people might value it more. I don't know what the Lego costs, or I don't know the value of the 1 ounce copper in dollars or euro or any other fiat currencies. So you can just then calculate what basically the exchange rate for that item is. So it already has a value. It's just that you don't have a value that gets updated or that's internationally the same and that gets updated every second. Yeah. There are also vendors across the globe already. Again, I always share or mention tradeyourpi.com because I already interacted with them, and therefore I know they are legit. You might not agree with their exchange rate, which is also around 25 cents per Pi. You might think Pi is worth less. You might think Pi is worth more. Really doesn't matter. The point is there are already vendors that accept Pi at certain exchange rates. So there is already a value. It just depends. Yeah, like if you, for example, think Pi will never be worth 25 cents, you should spend all your Pi already to buy the stuff and then sell it and then use the money ideally to buy Pi when it is listed on an exchange. Sorry, because obviously you would make a profit. So if you believe Pi will only be worth 1 cent, and here you can spend it for 25 cents, well then spend all your Pi, sell the goods, and then when it launches and you're right, then it actually only would be worth 1 cent, use that money to buy Pi, and you will basically have a 25,000% return. So if you spend 1,000 Pi, you will then, after that whole transaction thing, would have 25,000 Pi. Yeah? But it can also go the other way. You spend your Pi, you buy something from Trade Your Pi or any other vendor. It's just the one that I have a transaction in the past that has positive reviews and so on, yeah. But any other vendor is also same thing. So you find a vendor that accepts Pi, and you believe that Pi will be worth, or you believe Pi will be worth less. So you spend your Pi to get items, but then when it actually gets listed on exchange, it's possible that the value listed is much higher, which means you would have overpaid hugely for your items. Because let's say Pi launches at $1, not saying that it will. We already covered prices as well. Last Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday, almost every episode last week, we talked about pricing and so on. But let's say it launches at $1 and here its value is at 25 cents. So you would actually end up paying $3,000 for a PlayStation that's worth new 550 or 600. So you suddenly would realize, oh, you massively overpaid. Yeah. But that's the risk you have to take if you already want to use your Pi for transactions. But my core point being is Pi already has a value. Yeah, so not a universal or internationally, coordinated value, but an individual value for each transaction. Yeah. Moving on a little bit. So there we have it. There we have the next thing. Yeah, my Pi account is migrated, but my wallet address on the mainnet is different from my real wallet. How can I input my real wallet on the Pi browser? Yeah, so the question is a little bit loaded, but we're gonna try to cover that. So switching again back to the phone. So when you have, not the Pi browser or Pi app. Yeah, actually Pi app is relevant as well. So if we circle back to the Pi app. There you have, I'm going to go back to the home screen so everybody can follow along. You have the main menu, and then you have mainnet. And then in the mainnet, you have your mainnet checklist. Yeah. And in that mainnet checklist, there are 2 points. Point number 3, confirm your Pi wallet. And point number 6. So signing the acknowledgement to receive the tokens. Yeah. That basically regulate to which wallets your coins get migrated to. Yeah. And you can update that. So if I go here on point number 3, I could enter a new passphrase if I, for some reason, lost access to my old wallet. So if I would lose access to this wallet, then let's go home. And I go to wallet, I don't have exit anymore, then I could use here, you can create a new wallet, the blue link at the bottom, which I'm not gonna do now. And then I get a new passphrase, then I have to go again to the mainnet checklist, and update point number 3 with the new passphrase, and then update point number 6 to basically, again, get future migrations into that new wallet. Now, for the migrations to your wallet, you can also see in point number 9 if your coins were migrated and to which wallet address they were sent. Yeah. If this wallet address doesn't match the one that let's unlock my wallet, the public wallet address that you have in your wallet. So if you say, no, not pay, but actually request, okay, share my contact, add contact, scan or show QR code, scan. No, I don't want to scan anything, yeah, so doesn't show my wallet address here. So they changed the UI a little bit since it was the last time. Somewhere in there, up here. So you see at the top, above the total Pi balance, you have the wallet address that you can copy. And so if the address that's shown again in the mainnet checklist in the 9th point is not the same as this one, then your coins were migrated to a different wallet. Yeah? The only way to access a wallet, as we covered earlier, is by knowing the passphrase. So if you don't know the passphrase anymore from the wallet that you created the first time when you clicked your way through the migration checklist, then you are unfortunately shit out of luck, because again, there are more possible passphrase combinations than there are atoms in the known universe. Yeah. So then you just have to learn your lesson that in the future with crypto applications, you have to be very careful whenever there is a passphrase shown to you to back it up properly so that that doesn't happen again. And then you just have to go ahead, create a new wallet, update the migration checklist as we just discussed, and then just wait for the next migration. But the coins that already ended up in the other wallet, you lost. The best thing that could happen to you is if, again, I'm going back home. If you forgot your passphrase, but you have a phone that supports biometric ID, like Face ID or so, and you can still unlock the wallet, so by going to wallet and unlock with Face ID, but you forgot the passphrase, then you can also still go into settings and then here select show my passphrase, which I obviously will not do. Yeah. But then this way it will show you your passphrase again, and then you can take care of backing it up properly. Yeah. But the moment you forgot your passphrase is the moment you have locked yourself out permanently from that wallet. There is no way to access a wallet if you don't have the passphrase anymore. Yeah. I know it's frustrating if it happens to you, but I cannot change that. I'm just the messenger here. It's then a lesson learned that many of us learn. And hopefully you learn it with low amounts, so you lose $5 when you forget your first passphrase instead of, I don't know, losing millions or so. But it's just, I mean, there are literally news articles about people that cannot log into their whatever Bitcoin wallets anymore and have millions in there, or claim to have millions in there because they don't have the passphrase or something like that anymore. It just happens. It shouldn't, but yeah. Bana Jelani asks, I've seen Bondex delayed token launch for Q1 2025. Is it likely to delay further? I honestly have no idea. It's super weird. So if we jump into Bondex, we can see that we have airdrop season 1 that actually should have already delivered in half a year ago. I think it's half a year ago, yeah. Yeah, so in May or June last year, and the exchange listing should have been in July. And you can see that the airdrop season 1 hasn't done any of that stuff yet. And the airdrop season 2 is, however, already, not come on, oh, that's my reputation, so sorry, is already coming soon. So I'm honestly, I don't know, like it feels like, you know, like the team has a good idea. And I covered it in one of my videos about Bondex. Yeah, I will not look it up right now. Check my channel, and I mean it's probably one of the videos in the last 2 years. I covered the airdrop announcement and I covered what happened after that. So within the last year, there should be a video that covers the whole thing. Because weirdly enough, they, instead of moving along, oh yeah, there are cat pictures, yeah. So some pussy pics. Instead of delivering on that, they actually went along and created that weird nonsense Telegram game, yeah, where you can press a button to get points for whatever reason, and then you can spend that points to upgrade cards and get more points. So it's just like, I don't know, it serves no purpose whatsoever. So in the Bondex community, as far as I can tell. So I'm a little bit torn with Bondex because they have basically outside investors. They have a relatively solid business idea by ideally becoming a mix between LinkedIn and platforms like Upwork. So not just a platform where you have your CV and your work history and where you can connect, but on top of that, a platform where you can also directly get hired, or where you can look for either full-time employees or freelancers and so on. So their approach or their plan is actually quite solid. I'm not saying that it's easy to become a leader in that field or get a critical market share, but it then feels weird that they add all those delays. And what's mostly weird is that they developed that weird mobile app, yeah, that Telegram game. There's no point for it. It's just I don't know, like another thing to open every day, but it connects in no way to the vision of Bondex to become something, as said, like a mix between LinkedIn and Upwork. So Irina, by the way, shared the link to the video in the chat, so you can see it in the chat. Obviously, you cannot click it on the screen, but yeah. So it's hard to, so I'm already surprised by the original delay, because they could have launched the first airdrop and just initially already say, hey, the first airdrop will run till the end of the year or so. Because one would believe that when they launch an airdrop and say, okay, then the listing will happen, that they actually already have an agreement for the listing. So everything is kind of weird, yeah. And they anyway already made a, I don't know, obviously a compromise that sucks for most users, but that's good for the project, that they changed. Originally, you were shown in the app that you are mining BNDX or BDNX, yeah, so the Bondex token. And then at some point they just changed it and said, okay, you're now mining, or you're getting bond points, and they will be converted through airdrops, yeah, which means if they have a lot of users that press the button every day, the problem would have been if you actually get crypto tokens 1-to-1, it could be a huge devaluation of the token. But by making the hard decision and like pissing off some users by saying, hey, sorry, those are not tokens, you actually are just creating bond points and they can be converted through airdrops, they already got full control over the devaluation, because they can control how much to give away in an airdrop. If they say, okay, for airdrop 1, there's $1 million worth of tokens total, then depending on how many people throw their bond points into the airdrop, it determines the exchange rate for that airdrop. So, but it doesn't change the number of tokens that then get distributed, because that's already fixed by the dollar amount. Yeah. So they already did that. So I don't see why they made the extra delay. I also don't understand, as said, why they spent any kind of resources for that stupid Telegram game. And I also don't understand why they are teasing airdrop season 2, when airdrop season 1 wasn't fully pulled through and finished, and is literally stuck in the first step of like decide how much you want to commit, and nothing else happened. Yeah. So yeah, like I keep pressing the button. I think so, considering that the team is transparent in terms of who is running the operation, that they have proper funding from venture capitalist firms and so on. So I think there is, there is hope. Let's put it like that. But whatever they have been doing the last pretty much 13 months has not been a sign of confidence. Listen to Gabby, otherwise she comes and visits you and slaps you on the head. Like, subscribe, and enable notifications. Thank you, Gabby. And but that's about Bondex. So I keep pressing the button every day. As you can see, you can also see that I have a 27-day streak going in Bondex. So even unlock the badge. Great. But as far, shouldn't have pressed that button. Let's circle that. So as far as further delays, I have no idea. It just does, some things just don't make sense from what they did. I don't know. It's possible that they lost hope in their own vision, and that now they decided to instead milk the venture capital for as long as they can. So they keep paying themselves their salary and just do random things, so they have something that they can report in their whatever quarterly or half-yearly meetings with the venture capitalist firms. So really no idea. But I keep pressing the button. But the last year has been very disappointing for Bondex. So because they did not follow the direction that they actually said they wanted to go. Which seems to be happening to a lot of projects. You should never forget, however, so I know this is frustrating if it happens, but you should never forget, in those projects, you don't invest anything. You press a button, maybe you fill out the profile information. But I mean, on how many websites do you fill out your profile? So it's not like that data is like high security or something. So even if if many of those projects fail, at the end of the day, if a single project, so from all the projects, like, I don't know, Bondex, Alpha Network, Pi Network, back then Sperax Play, Timestope, Alpha Network I mentioned already. So if one single project of those projects succeeds, it already will compensate you more than just compensate you for the whatever 1 minute it takes every day to press the button in 3, 4, 5, 7 apps. Anyway, I hope this it doesn't answer your question, but it's like my perspective of Bondex. So not that I hope it doesn't answer your question, but you get what I wanted to say. Anyway, how do I know if I've migrated my coins to the previous wallet? That we covered already a minute ago when we were talking about the Pi Network mainnet checklist, where the last step shows you the wallet address where the coins were migrated to. That's just some scam. I really would like to know the angle. So I don't understand the angle here of sharing a random crypto passphrase. I believe the hope is you set it up in your wallet, you forget that you have it set it up, you start using it and actually moving funds there, and then they get stolen. I really have no idea what the angle is for that, but it's pretty much, it's just spam. Like if you wanna make new friends about Pi Network, like grow your security circle or so, there are Reddit chats for that, but my videos are not the place for that. I buy PiCoin at best rate. Yes, there you go. Ban hammer for you. So I cannot ban it. Well, I can at least reject your comments. That's at least what I can do. But probably already got kicked from YouTube, and if I cannot ban it anymore. But so there's another. So much crypto scams going around. Be really careful. So even on social media, there are the official communities, but even when you're active in the official communities of whatever, Pi Network or any other project on Reddit, or even Discord servers and whatnot, there will always be people that direct message you to claim they are from the official support team or some other nonsense to try to either get you to send them crypto or to get you to expose your passphrase so they can clean out your entire wallet. Don't forget, we also have a Discord community. You can join there as well. There we discuss pretty much Pi Network and other projects, and also share things of our regular life. So moving on, the wallet my Pi was migrated is not the same as my verified wallet in the mainnet checklist. Can anything be done? No, it's likely, as I mentioned earlier. So now I stopped the phone sharing already, and we're actually at the end of the stream, so I will not share the phone again. But like we saw earlier, when you initially made your way through the Pi Network mainnet checklist, at some point you were asked to create a wallet, or actually when the Pi blockchain launched on the testnet, and that's then the default wallet address that was used, and many people unfortunately didn't back up their passphrase and might have then ended up creating a new wallet and then, however, not updating the mainnet checklist. And voila, here we are with a bunch of people. It's going to be a very, very slow percentage considering the total number of users, but it still sucks for everybody that is affected. But yeah, if you don't have the passphrase anymore for the wallet that got your coins migrated to, you have no way to access it. Yeah. That's the sad truth. You can then just make sure to update your mainnet checklist, as I've shown earlier in the video or in the live stream, by step number 3 and step number 6. So updating the wallet address and then signing the token transfer agreement again. Yeah, I have a little over 1,500 migrated Pi. Unlocked, what I have a little over 1,500 migrated, have unlocked a few more. How can I migrate a second time? And if I did lock up now, would it lock up only the transferable or already the migrated Pi too? So first, you cannot trigger the second migration. It's something that the core team will have to do. So we're all just waiting for them. The process will at some point be automated, but at the moment it's probably not, or only partially automated, or only automated for migrating fresh users that completed KYC. Yeah. And second, when you change the lockup settings in the mainnet, it affects coins. When you change the lockup settings in the mainnet settings within the main primary Pi Network app, it affects the coins that get migrated. When you already have coins in your wallet, so you already have 1,500 migrated and unlocked, for example, they don't get locked up because you changed the setting in the mainnet checklist. But if you would want to lock them up, you could do that in the wallet itself. So Pi browser, wallet, unlock your wallet, go to lockups like we showed also earlier in the stream. And there you can select the amount you want to lock up and how long. I personally would probably pick a 2-week lockup. So considering that we now have the on-chain lockup, I would pick 0 lockup in the mainnet checklist, because the lockup there only starts when your coins get migrated. So if you now pick a 6-month lockup and then your coins only get migrated at the end of the year, for example, then it would be 6 months from the end of the year, which is something you might not want. So by picking no lockup at all in the mainnet checklist, when the coins hit your wallet, you can then pick the lockup for whatever amount of time you want using the on-chain lockup. And I would have said pick 2 weeks at a time. Yes, it gives you a lower percentage bonus, especially now I would pick 2 weeks at a time, because we are very, very close to the open mainnet. Doesn't mean that on day 1 there will be an exchange or a liquidity pool or anything else that allows you to instantly swap Pi for whatever you want. Yeah, but it's the requirement for that to happen. And so picking a 2-week lockup at least gets you some kind of mining boost without locking you in for a year or 2 or 3. And so by going 2-week lockup, setting a reminder, next 2-week lockup, you actually get to benefit some mining boost with the least amount of restrictions, yeah, or 4 weeks, or I don't know, 3 months, or so like shorter periods. But I would still use the lockup. So my coins are still locked up till May, and if they unlock and we still don't have the open mainnet, or I don't have a reason to use them or so, I will just pick 2-week, and keep them locked up until I have actually a use for them. Yeah. When would you say Pi is likely to launch open mainnet? Well, my guess would be, so obviously we'll get an announcement from the core team, and my guess would be that the date will be the 14th of March, which is 3.14, which is the official Pi day. It would just be fitting, because from now, that's another 4 weeks from now, 4.5 weeks, so it's not that long to wait. And it would be kind of nice. Pi launches official open mainnet on Pi day 25. Yeah, so that would be the date that from a marketing perspective makes the most sense, unless there is some technical issue in the background that's still preventing the open mainnet. But the recent announcement the most recent announcement from December doesn't seem like that's the case. It really seems like we're just waiting for hitting the 10 million migrated pioneers. And yeah, and that's it. We're somehow already in 4 minutes or 5 minutes overtime. Yeah, so we're gonna stop here for today. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you got the answers you were looking for. If not, stop by tomorrow and ask new questions that I can and hopefully answer tomorrow. Yeah, as Gabby mentioned, don't forget to join our Discord community, and also don't forget to, where was it? Like, subscribe, and enable notifications. Thank you, Gabby. And yeah, I'm gonna be off for now. See you all then tomorrow with another episode of Common Chaos Live. Same time, same place. Till then, bye-bye.